Hello. Yes, just checking that I can indeed hear myself live on the live stream. Can you see we've got a Stanley with us already? Is he gonna get his bed? Is he gonna get his bed? I'm not gonna say anything because if I say something, then I might scare him off. But oh, nice. Nice. It's just going to oh no, he's gone already. Damn it. He might come back. I kind of think that I need in future, I think I might need to get one that's like a bit higher, like a little stand that's higher so we can see him a bit more. But let me pop that back down there. Stanley, can we tempt you back up with some dreamies? Hello everybody, welcome to the stream. I don't normally start by calling my cat to have some dreamies. Do you want them dreamies? Yeah, there we go. Normally we start these live streams in a much chiller way, but I'm trying to convince the cat to come and be in his bed for this live stream because last week I think he turned up for about 30 seconds at the end of the stream and that was it. And so I'm trying to bribe him to see if he will stay in his bed. Let's just pop a few more down for him and then he might stay there. He's not getting any more than that though. Because we are in prime molting season. If anybody has a cat, they know this is prime molting season, and so he will be having a few more treats later tonight and a brush. Anyway, welcome into the live stream. Hi Melissa. We are just started now. It's Tuesday evening, and if you are watching this on demand later, if you've not been able to join live, then welcome in as well. This is a live stream where we have a chat, have a catch up, and also do 20-minute focused sessions. They can be writing. I'm a writer, I'm going to be writing, or you could be reading a book, you could be crafting. Okay, he's just going to sit in front of the camera. Fine. Cats are cats. And yeah, it's just a really nice way for us to be able to hang out. I started doing these because I wanted to be able to have a bit more of a two-way conversation with my subscribers, with anybody who is a writer or a creator and wants to find a bit of a community. So that's why I started doing them. And we have a lovely little community of people who come along regularly to the live streams. I'm going to be honest, I'm not sure how many people we're going to have tonight because I'm in the UK. It is half term in the UK. It's the Easter holidays, and so a lot of people are away on holiday, this, that and the other. So it might be quite a quiet stream in terms of the chat and etc. But if you are watching later, then thank you very much for watching. And yeah, I'm going to be here. I'm going to be writing. I am in the process of writing my novel. For anybody who has not been to this live stream before, like I say, is watching later on, I'm in the process of writing a novel at the moment. It's technically the second novel that I've written, but the first novel I put to one side because I wasn't very happy with it. So this is the second one that I'm writing. Hi, Mum. Always count on my lovely mum and my beautiful sister Melissa to show up and support in live streams. So, hey guys, what are you up to this evening? And yeah, I think we'll just have a bit of a chat, maybe until 1:15, see if anybody else joins us, and then I'll get started on the first writing session. Like I said, the 20 minutes. I haven't created a new playlist for this video, for this live stream tonight. I think I'll do a new one for the next live stream, just a bit of a notification as well. I won't be live streaming. Yes, I will. Yes, I will be streaming next week. It's the week after, when I'm not live streaming. So maybe I'll do a new one for next week. Maybe I'll do a new audio. So basically I make a playlist for that 20-minute session. I'm not talking. I mute my microphone and we put some background music on so that people can focus. And I create different playlists. We've had a fantasy one. We've had a piano one. And it's probably about time that I do a new one. So I might do a new playlist for next week, but I don't have a new playlist this week. Just chilling, doing a rewatch of House of the Dragon before the new season comes out in June. Do you know, I'm not even sure if I've watched all of the last season. I definitely want to rewatch it though, so we might do that as well. Do you know what though? It's getting into that time of the year, isn't it? Because the clocks have changed now and it's lighter on a night, which it is still light. The sun's just starting to go. We're just starting to get sunset. By the time this live stream finishes at 9 o'clock, it will be dark. But it's so nice to be able to start a live stream at 7 o'clock with it still being light in the sky. But the problem is you can't watch as much like dark shows on an evening anymore. Like House of the Dragon is quite dark at times. It's really hard to watch on a TV in the summer. Just finished prawn linguine with ciabatta. That is a very posh tea. Prawn linguine. That reminds me, Mum. Do you remember when I used to work at the Swan in Lamport? They used to do a salmon and prawn linguine and it was beautiful. I loved it so much. And then I had it once and it gave me food poisoning. I think they're just like, I don't know, something had obviously gone wrong with the cooking of it, and made me ill. But I loved it before I got ill on it. I'm having M&S. Look at you both having fish. I've had fish for dinner as well. I've had fish fingers. So, not a posh prawn linguine and not an M&S salmon dinner. Mine was Asda fish fingers. I had Melissa will be amazed that I've already had my tea because we're usually very late dinner eaters in me and my husband Tom, but because it's a live stream night I always make sure that I've eaten my dinner before I start the live stream, because otherwise having dinner at 9 p.m. at night just feels too late for me. I just want to go straight to bed after I finish the live stream. So I had dinner at 5:30. I had a fish finger sandwich and a few chips. There was like a bag of like just a few chips left in, so I just had a few. So yeah, although I think Tom might be having some chicken noodle soup for dinner. We had a roast chicken yesterday, and so he's going to make up some homemade chicken noodle soup, which is a German recipe that he uses, and he might have some of that. So yes, I don't know if we've got other people around. No, I think it might just be us three tonight. There will be other people join as we go through, because people usually do. There's something weird about YouTube. I don't think it properly notifies everybody as soon as a live stream starts, unless you have actually asked YouTube to notify you. So it kind of relies on people knowing that it's happening automatically because it's Tuesday evening, and also see my Instagram story, because I did put an Instagram story on this afternoon about it. But like I say, I think a lot of people are going to be away at the moment with it being the holidays, so I don't mind. To be honest, when I very first started the live stream series, I assumed that for a while it would just be me, because you never know how things like live streams are going to go. You're capturing people. It's not like a normal video that I put up on my channel where I pop it up on a Thursday evening, which I do now. I've kind of settled on a Thursday evening, and people will watch it over the coming weeks or days or whatever. With a live stream, you have to catch people in that moment or you don't at all. So yeah, it's cool if people fluctuate. For me, I find this really useful because they are 20-minute focused writing sessions that I will do. So even if I don't manage to write at any other point in the week, I know that I've got 2 hours of writing time within my week where I'm going to look at my novel, which is really good because I need it. I need that little bit of focus time. So yeah. Trying to think of something else to say now. I'm very conscious that I talk a lot in life anyway, and so I'm always editing. I'm always self-editing myself. I'm always saying, Charlotte, don't say too much, don't say too much. And so when it's a situation like this with a live stream where I actually need to talk because we're filling time, I find it quite difficult. Interestingly, so today I've been filming a day in the life of me. I can't really say day in the life of a writer because I haven't been doing any writing today up until now. And I was talking about, in that video, about you are the chattiest introvert. I think I am. I'm a chatty introvert. Yeah, definitely. Very chatty. Too chatty, some would say. I was talking on that video about, I'd had a comment on my The Other Bennett Sister video, asking if I had any book recommendations, and it made me think again about we were having a chat last week about book recommendations, and I'm definitely going to do that video at some point. So I'm going to ask for like maybe 5 or 6 people to ask for a recommendation. So basically give me like a genre or a topic or a book that they've loved previously, and then I will do some recommendations based on that request. I think that might be quite a cool video to do. So yeah, I'm going to do that. Also, interestingly, Melissa, you might be interested in this. I have been doing a lot of A/B testing on my titles for my videos recently. And an A/B test is basically where you can pick up to 3 titles, and YouTube will put like 3 different videos out with different titles, and then it kind of tests how much people will click on each title to see which is the most popular title. And then you set that as a permanent one. And why was I mentioning this? I've lost my train of thought. Honestly, live streaming is so hard sometimes. You've got to keep an eye on so many different things and follow your own stream of thought as well. Yes, A/B tests. So I did an A/B test on The Other Bennett Sister, and I had 3 different titles, and it was testing them and sending them out and seeing how people came back. The most popular title was Book versus Show, The Other Bennett Sister. And it made me wonder whether I should do Book versus Show as like a standard, almost like a series for my YouTube video, and then put the title that I'm going to look at. So the next one, let's just pick, for example, Book versus Show, Pride and Prejudice, or what else is coming up? Book versus Show, Dune 3, something like that. What do you think? Is Book versus Show too narrow? Is it keeping it too narrow all the time? Maybe pan pipes? What? Or did you mean to say playlist? Is that what you mean? Maybe a playlist? For Book versus Show, yeah. I could do it as a playlist. Well, it'd become a playlist after I've done it as a series. But apparently YouTube really likes it when you do series, because it shows that it kind of builds an audience. People like a series, they like the familiar, and so it could work, could that. But I just wondered well, I kind of wondered what Melissa's opinion was, but I do wonder on other people's opinions as well. But yeah, I have got a Diet Coke with me tonight. Oh, crispy cold Diet Coke. I'm hoping you can't hear me drinking it on camera, because that's a bit gross. But yeah, I've got that. I've got all my everything set up on my computer. I haven't actually opened up my manuscript, so let's open up the manuscript. Let's get this up and running. I need to do some real thinking about where I want the story to go next. I think I said this in last week's live stream, was that I'd kind of written as far as my brain had thought. And so I need to start like thinking about what might happen next. I think I did it a little bit last week. Let's have a look. Yeah, I did a list of scenes needed for the book, but I don't think they're necessarily in the order of what should happen next in the book, so I need to have a little bit of a think about that. I might just do that. I might just, in this 20-minute session that we start now, just really do some plotting work rather than actual writing. I think I potentially really do need to think about the plot now. I've realised this. I'm not really a pantser, and pantsers are people who fly by the seat of their pants, in other words, and they just kind of they will write a book just as things come into their mind. I don't really think I'm that type of person. I think I either need to have a really clear idea of the scene in my head, and having mulled on it for a while and thought about it and fleshed it out in my mind so much that I can then put it down on paper, or I need to have some plot points. I found this with my 2 non-fiction books that I've written and published. I am so much better at like banging out the actual manuscript once I've done a lot of the research and I've written things out and I know somebody's story quite well. I can then write kind of the biography type section of their story. So I think it's going to be about the same with the novel, but we shall see. Right, I know it's only 7:14, but let's get into the first session, and we'll do 20 minutes. Just to say as well, if you hear my chair creaking throughout this, it is because this chair is breaking. I need a new chair. I say it every live stream, and I'm sorry for repeating myself, but I just don't want you thinking that I'm making rude noises. You will know if you hear the chair move what I mean. But I just don't want you thinking of making rude noises. I will get a new chair at some point soon though, but we will see. Not today. So, right, let's go into the first session. Sorry about that. I ended up leaving that a little bit longer after the music had finished. I actually really got into a little bit there where I was, hold on. Sorry, I had myself. I was listening to myself talk then. Like I say, I do listen to the live stream when I'm doing the writing so that I can hear the music. Yeah, I got into a real bit of a scene there. After saying that I was going to spend the first 20 minutes plotting, I actually then started writing because I was really struggling to think of what I wanted to do in terms of the plot next. I was like, well, what would come next? And then I was like, do you know what? I just need to enjoy writing. Just write something. And so I was just writing a scene where the main character is in the inn that she runs and is just tending to people, just helping people. A large party's just arrived unannounced, and so she's just kind of sorting them out, giving them food, getting them set up in their rooms, making sure they've got everything they need. And I was just enjoying writing a bit of that. And so there was a bit that I wanted to write because my main character has lost her father, and I kind of wanted to convey her stood in a corner of this inn, this bustling, busy inn where everybody's kind of there and they're all eating, drinking, and this, that, and the other. And I wanted to convey the feeling that she is looking in this room and seeing that nothing is different from any other evening except her father's not here. And so how, in many ways, it looks exactly the same, and yet for her, she can't believe that her father's not here. Like how monumental it feels to her that he's not here, but how his absence isn't even noticed by others. Do you know what I mean? I was trying to get that, and I really wanted to try and get some words down on paper so that I didn't forget what I was trying to write at the time. So that's what I was doing. Hello, Dread. Is that okay? Can I call you Dread? Hi. Welcome into the live stream. I don't know if you've watched a live stream before. This is a 2-hour live stream. We started at 7 o'clock. We'll be finishing at 9 this evening. And it is a chat community live stream. Like I say, it's 2 hours, and in and amongst kind of chatting sessions, we have 20-minute focus sessions where I do writing. I'm a writer, so I'll do writing for 20 minutes, but other people say, you can write, you can do crafting, you can do anything. You can read, you can watch telly, whatever you want to do in those 20 minutes. Like I said, I do writing, and I just wanted to create a little bit of a community. So yeah, that's what we do here. Welcome in. I do have a cat cam on screen. You can see it here. Is my cat cam, although there is no cat in the cam. He did come right at the beginning of the live stream, so you can always nip back to the beginning of the live stream if you want to see him. His name is Stanley. He's a black and white cat. And I don't even know where he is right now, but I've already given him some dreamies, some treats, to get him to come into the live stream at the beginning, so I don't want to give him any more now, otherwise he'll end up being ill, but he might come back at some point. Sure, and I have a question. Do you have any tips on writing flashbacks in stories? I'm not good at writing them in long succession. Do you know, it's really interesting because I'm also part of a writing group, the Bronte Creative Writing Centre, I think it's called. I've done a couple of like long courses with them where you do it from like September to December each autumn, and you write every week. You have kind of 2-hour writing sessions with them every week. And I'm now in a monthly group of people who've done that course, and we now meet monthly and discuss the projects that we're working on. And there's been a few times when we've discussed this idea of flashbacks, because I think generally the consensus is that people don't like them, as in readers don't always really like to read them, and also a lot of publishers and editors don't particularly like them either. I think I don't really sit hard or fast on either side of that argument. I think if it feels really kind of pivotal to your story, if it really feels right, then pop it in there. But it's funny because the book that I'm writing now it did have a bit of a flashback scene at the beginning. So it had the initial scene of my character who's in a graveyard. She's standing at her father's graveside, and the events of this scene happen. And then at the beginning of the next chapter, I had her in bed thinking back on the events of the day before. And so it was a bit of a flashback to the day before's events. And in the course of this group, I was reading it out, and somebody said, I'm not really sure what the point is of having it as a flashback. Like, why don't you just have her in bed the following morning? And I said, well, I wanted the bedroom scene because I want us to be able to see that main character in a comfortable place, in somewhere that's very private to her. I wanted to show the closeness with her sister because she shares a bed with her sister. This book's set in the 1680s, by the way. It's set in the late 17th century. So she shares a bed with her sister. And I wanted to show a little bit of like the familial intimacy. And they were like, well, you could still do that. You just don't have to have a flashback. So I actually changed it. So now we have the graveyard scene. The next chapter then goes into the wake after the funeral, and then in the third chapter it goes into her laying in bed and thinking over things. And actually it works fine. It didn't need, for that situation for me, it didn't need to be a flashback. I just slightly reorganised things. So I think if you are worrying or thinking or wondering about whether a flashback is right for your scene or your story, maybe try reorganising things so that it's not a flashback, it just follows a series of events, if that's something that you're able to do with your story, and see if it changes it, see if it feels any different. I think have a play around with it and see, maybe try writing it again as not a flashback, and see how that changes. I don't know if that's helpful. Hopefully it is. I like answering questions like that about writing. I like discussing the writing process and just talking through the different ways that people write and come up with stories and that kind of thing. So yeah, feel free to ask any more questions if anybody's got them. When will we start the next writing session? We've only really just come off that, haven't we? So come off one. So maybe we'll give it another 10 minutes. Start the next session at 10 to. Yes, I'm just going to have a little sip of my Diet Coke. Like I say, I'm hoping that you can't hear me drinking on stream, but I'm sure you'll. Don't they say write what you know? Do you know what they do say, write what you know? And I don't really think that's true. I've never really liked that because I don't know the 1700s. I mean, I know a little bit of the history, like a tiny bit, but not that much. And I think if you only wrote what you know, then where would fantasy come from? Like, where do fantasy books come from? Because that's not what you know. That's a completely made up, imagined world. And so, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know whether you should write what you know. Is that a car? Yeah, sorry, I think we just had a couple of boy racers driving past the house. Don't know if you heard that in the background. Yeah, so I ended up doing a little bit of writing in this scene, like I say, this character. So I think I'm just going to continue on with that scene, as we go into the next session. I think I'm also going to try plotting a little bit as well. But actually, I'm finding it quite organic tonight. I think it's always so hard because it's almost like my brain, whatever I say, my brain will go, no, I'm going to do the opposite. So if I say, well, in the next session, I'll just pants it then. I'll just write and see how I go. I'll go into the next session and my brain will be like, yeah, I don't want to do that now. So it can be quite frustrating sometimes being inside my own head. What's everybody reading? Has anybody finished their current books and are they reading anything new? I've just started. What have I just started? No, I'm still reading The Magician. I'm still halfway through The Magician. I've just started rereading a fantasy book that I wanted to reread because I wanted to do a full series reread. And then I'm starting to The Lighthouse by Virginia Woolf. Now, I have read it. I've read it a long time ago. And I'm rereading it because that is my 1927 book for my 100 Books Over 100 Years series. So yeah, I'm rereading that. It's not very long, but I only read the first page of it, to be fair, yesterday, and I was like, I really need to start holding judgment on this, because I don't think I really liked it very much the first time I read it. And so when something like that, I'm like, oh, it's going to be really heavy to read, but a lot of people really like it, so I need to get into it and enjoy it. I used one because Paw Patrol fan character Dredd was reflecting on his life in fan fiction called Chaser's Recovery, taking place after my first fan fiction called Paw Patrol Pups Meet Dredd. I'm going to be totally honest, I've got absolutely no idea the subject matter that you're talking about. I don't know anything about Paw Patrol. But, I mean, if you're reflecting on life, I suppose it depends how much of that story is going to be a reflection. Because they used to do this a lot, didn't they? In older books, in like Victorian novels, you would have a narrator who would start off the story and be like, I heard this once from a man who said blah, 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 blah. And then they'll start a story and then it reflects back. The whole book then is a story, but it's set the scene right at the beginning as it being a flashback or as it being a remembrance. So it could be something like that. How long is it? Is this a children's book? I know that Paw Patrol is children's show, isn't it? Like I said, I don't know. I don't have any children personally, so I don't have any idea about Paw Patrol. The only thing I know is that it is a children's show. So would it be a children's book? Because children maybe don't see flashbacks in the same way. So I don't know. I'm trying to think about how that would work if it was. Is it just a series of children's or YA books that are just following the story rather than it being a flashback? It's just a story that is about an earlier part in a character's life. Maybe. Sorry, I feel like I'm being really useless at providing any kind of positive commentary there on that, but feel free to tell me some more if you want. Right, let's go into the next session, as it's 10 to. And so we'll do another 20 minutes, so it'll be 5 past when we finish this next session. Right, I'm back again. How did everybody get on? It's getting dark outside now, which means you can see it's getting cosy on the live stream now. Yeah, how was everybody's session? I carried on. Sorry, that was my chair. This is what I mean. I really need a new chair. I need a furniture company to sponsor me and send me a gaming chair because this chair is broken. And do you know what? It's not broken. I think it's one of the nuts on the arms are coming loose, and so it moves. And as it moves, it makes a creaking sound, which sounds like I'm making a rude sound, and I'm not. I promise you, it is my chair. Oh, what's going on with my? Something is weird is going on with my. There we go. So I'm just monitoring the live stream and something weird was happening with it. Doesn't seem to want to be going live. Are other people managing to see this? Can somebody just let me know on the chat? Is the live stream performing okay for everybody? Is everybody able to see it? It doesn't seem to be live on my YouTube, but if it's okay for everybody else, then that's fine. If somebody could let me know, please. I will keep talking until I hear from somebody to see if it's okay. Yeah, I continued writing my scene. All good. Thank you, Diana. Thank you. Good to know it's all good for everyone else. Must just be my. Obviously, I'm live streaming and on OBS and stuff. So sometimes it can be a bit funny. I just joined and I can see you. Great, thank you. Hey, welcome in. Welcome into the live stream. Have you been to one of my live streams before? I don't recognise your name, so I'm wondering if you might be a lovely new viewer. So welcome in. If this is the first one you come to, this is a 2-hour live stream. I do them every Tuesday evening, apart from the odd day when I have a little break. But I do them every week, and it is a 2-hour live stream where we have a chat. We talk about anything from books to writing to period dramas to anything and everything, and also we have 20-minute writing sessions where you can write, you can craft, you can do whatever you want in those 20 minutes, and we listen to some lovely music. My mum actually earlier suggested some panpipe music for next week. Now, I don't know if I can get panpipe music on Epidemic Sound, which is the platform that I use for royalty-free music, but I'll certainly have a look and see if I can, and if I can, Mum, I will make you a panpipe playlist for the next one. So yeah, welcome to anybody who is watching now or anyone who watches this video on demand afterwards. So all of my live streams become videos on demand on my channel. You just go to the live tab and you can watch through any of the previous live streams. So if you're watching this later, because I know that I see it often that the view count goes up after they've gone on. So I know some people do watch them on demand later. So if you're watching it, hello, thank you very much. I hope you're enjoying it. Yeah, I was writing a bit more of that scene, but it is going quite slowly tonight. I think I possibly just need to spend some time mulling, like I say, on the plot of it. But to be honest, as long as I'm thinking about it, as long as I'm moving forward in any way, then I'm quite happy with it. And I'm going to have an opportunity soon to be able to spend a little bit more time just mulling on the story, so that's good. I had a few questions and things pop up there while we were in that session, but that's absolutely fine. Author Summerbrook is writing a historical romance in the spirit of Jane Austen and Georgette Heyer, which sounds excellent. I have to go watch it. I haven't read that one. Oh, you haven't read These Old Shades. To be honest, I was a little bit not upset that I got that one. Basically, if you don't know, I do a series on my channel called 100 Books from Across 100 Years. And basically, I'm reading 100 books. Starting in 1925 and going all the way up to 2025, I'm reading 100 books from across a 100-year period. And I just decided, actually, that I'm going to pick the most popular book from each year and read it. And the idea is that, as a writer, obviously, you're always wanting to look at what are trends, what are popular, what other people are writing, why some books are really beloved. And so I thought I would read over the course of 100 years and see how writing styles have changed, how reading tastes have changed, and we could do a little bit of a study. So I've done 1925, which was The Painted Veil by Somerset Maugham, and then 1926 was These Old Shades by Georgette Heyer. And I read that and I really struggled to get into it for probably about a good first third of the book. And then it got a bit better, but I think I actually potentially picked the wrong one. I've heard that Georgette Heyer's books are brilliant, and I think if I'd picked one that was slightly different, maybe with a female-led character, it might have been better, but the main character was a male and a little bit confusing. And actually, I posed a question in that review video, which was like, how much historical accuracy is too much historical accuracy? Because I almost thought there was a little bit too much in that, which was interesting. So yeah, be very good to see. I don't see people talk about Georgette Heyer enough, and I think that they should do. You know, people like Jane Austen get much more attention, obviously much bigger, more successful writer, but in the same way that people always say, do we need another Austen adaptation? I would really like to see a Georgette Heyer adaptation first, and then an Austen adaptation. No, I haven't been in one of your live streams. I'm a subscriber, but I'm not commenting a lot, I'm afraid. I'm a writer from Germany and discovered you via your writing vlogs, which I love a lot. Oh, thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. Thank you. And, you know, you don't have to always comment a lot. You know, I love getting comments, but I totally understand when some people are, you know, quiet subscribers. I quietly subscribe to a number of different channels on YouTube myself and don't always comment, but it's lovely when you can, because I like to meet people. I like to meet different subscribers. That's I don't know if you heard that. Scared the life out of me. I was like, what is that banging sound? It's Stanley playing with his bauble. Stanley's my cat. He should be on the camera, on cat cam. He's not. He found a bauble from Christmas up in the attic like 3 or 4 weeks ago. I don't know how, because I'd put them all away, or I thought I had. He'd obviously hidden one at some point, and he's found this golden glittery bauble, and it's his favourite toy in the world, and so he keeps batting it round everywhere and carrying it around the house. So yeah, it's lovely to be able to. It's one of the reasons why I set up these live streams, so that I could get to know people, get to know my subscribers a bit more, and have a chat and that kind of thing. So thank you very much for joining, and thanks again for being a subscriber. It's so cool that you're in Germany. We had somebody join the live stream, was it last week or the week before, who was in Sweden, Norway. So cool, so cool to have people from around the world coming together. And this is the thing, you know, I'm in, oh my gosh, this cat. I'm in Yorkshire in America. Summerbrook, you're in America. You see, this is so cool that we're like joining from around the world. It's amazing, isn't it, what the internet can do. I remember when I first went away to uni, this is how you can learn my age now, when I went to university, Facebook had only just been created, and we did have email and we did have mobile phones and things, but they weren't used as in depth as we use them today. And so I would write letters to my mum, and my mum would write letters back to me at university. But I think if we'd had FaceTime then, it would have been so much different to be able to just FaceTime each other. I think there was probably Skype was around at that time, but my mum didn't have, you know, we didn't have the technology at home for my mum to be able to get on Skype or anything like that. Whereas now we can just FaceTime anytime. But yeah, it's amazing how we've all managed to come a lot closer together for something like this. It is. And yeah, my mum's learning German on Duolingo. I'm learning French. I have a 970 something day streak on Duolingo. Very proud of that. Very, very proud of my French streak. Oh my God, this cat. I still don't have the confidence to speak French very much around people, but I am learning. I can read French quite well, but speaking it out loud, I get very self-conscious. Does anybody else speak second or third languages? Excuse me, what are you doing? Stenny? Where are you? I can hear him. He's in the office somewhere, I just can't see him. He's running around. Obviously, oh gosh, I'm really sorry. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Is it Younger? I'm sorry, please tell me if I've pronounced that wrong. If you write it phonetically, then I'll be able to pronounce it properly for you. I'm really sorry. But obviously you speak German and English. The owl terrifies me. I go in bed sometimes, it's like 10 to 12, and then the owl pops up on my phone. It's like, have you done your lesson yet? It's like, oh my God, I need to get this owl off my back. I think it's very impressive to learn another language consistently every day, and German is such a hard one to learn. I always found German relatively easy at school. I mean, I only did it for a couple of years, but I really liked it. I think because there is quite a lot of German and English, there's a little bit of crossover, isn't there, in the language in terms of like the origins of words. They don't do a good job of teaching other languages in America, alas. That's such a shame, isn't it? To be fair, I don't think England does very well either. Like, English schools are not very good at teaching second languages. I mean, it's almost seen as, you know, as soon as you can drop it in schools in England, people do. I have a GCSE in French, but, like, I think I've got a C in French, and yeah, I just look at some other countries where languages are prioritised, and I think it's just such a wonderful skill to be able to give children and young people is the ability to speak second or third language. It's funny because my in-laws live in Portugal. They're English, but they've retired to Portugal, and so we spend quite a lot of time in the Algarve in Portugal, and a lot of waiters, waitresses, bar staff are people who travel from around different places in the world, and they come, and they'll do a season serving in a bar or in a restaurant, and then they'll move to somewhere else and serve again. And the number of people I've met there who speak 4 or 5 languages is just so impressive, so impressive. And I just think I really wish that I'd learned more, but like I say, our education system isn't very good at that, unfortunately. I don't know what my mum put a message on there and then retracted it. Must have sent that too soon. But yeah, I'd love to learn. I really want to learn like a dead language, like Latin. But then I'm like, why do I need to learn Latin? I don't need to learn Latin. But I just kind of like the idea of learning Latin. I love it. Is that the Duolingo that you love? Yes. Shall I see if I can persuade the cat to come? Stanley. Stanley. No. This is the problem. I had my sister's dog, Ezra. Oh, here he is. Are you going to come up into your bed? You want to come and say hello to everybody? This is Stanley. I said you want to come and say hello to everyone. He just meowed and walked away. Oh, there he is. You come and say hello to everyone. Huh? Oh. Hi. Hi. You can see my phone now. You can see when I say that I record on my phone, you see what I mean. There he is. This is Stanley. He looks massive on the webcam. He is quite a big cat, to be fair. I'm not fat shaming you. You've got a big breed, aren't you, love? You're a big breed of cat. That's what you are. No fat shaming in our house. No. He's so lovely. Yeah, we don't really know a lot about his pedigree. He's not a pedigree cat. He's from Leeds. He's from a farm in Leeds, aren't you, love? And Mum was a long hair tortoiseshell, and Dad was a black and white farm cat. We don't know who Dad was, but he was obviously black and white, wasn't he? Because you are. So, but he's lovely. But he's just big. He's very, very big, big-bodied, aren't you? Yeah. You going to sit in your bed? Or are you going to sit there and stare at me? No. He's my baby. He is cute. He's a cute cat. I love him so much. Does anybody else have animals? Do you have any pets? Let me know what pets you've got. I love animals. I almost love animals more than humans sometimes. Animals are so lovely. Here he is. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's got an attitude sometimes. Haven't you, love? Oh, gosh. He's molting. So I can... Oh, gosh. Excuse me for rubbing my nose. I didn't wipe my nose on my arm then. I was just rubbing. Let me just get a tissue, puss. Want to sit in your bed? Want to sit in your bed? You're going to bite me if I go and get a tissue now. There we go. Just get a tissue for my nose. This is because he is... I'm not allergic to cats, but it's because it's molting season, so... His fur itches. Itches. I saw your recent review of The Other Bennett Sister. Did you? What did you think? That video's done really well, actually. I'm really glad that so many people have enjoyed that. I was really conscious that I wanted the video to be... Oh, and he's gone again. Bye, Stanley. I was really conscious that I wanted to like do justice to the kind of experiment that I'd done in watching and reading and talk about that, but then also do a review of the show as well without making the video like 40-50 minutes long, because I do have a tendency to make videos very long and then have to edit them down. But I think people seem to have liked that. I did get one comment basically saying that I spent the first 3 minutes talking about myself and not talking about the show, which was a bit strange, but never mind. I have a black and white cat as well. Her name is Frieda, and she's quite the character. In German, I call her a Motzekatze. Is that right? Motzekatze. What does that mean? Katze, I'm assuming, is cat, is it? Or kitty. I like that, Motzekatze. I might use that for Stanley. I'm more excited about the show than the book, to be honest. I tried reading the book and didn't really enjoy it. Yeah, I liked the book. Obviously, I'd seen the first half of the show, so I had quite a lot of visuals of the show in my mind when I was reading it. I wouldn't say it blew me away. You know, it was like, okay, this is all right. This is an easy read. It's okay. I liked it. I suppose it didn't really leave a massive impression either way. I liked it. I definitely liked it. I don't want that to be a negative against the book. I did like it, but I didn't love it. The actress who plays Mary is so good. I'm genuinely excited for her. She's a Scarborough lass. She's from Yorkshire. What's her name now? Oh gosh, I'm trying to remember her name. She's Italian. She's Italian, British Italian, or has Italian parents. I can't remember. But yes, absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. She was the best thing about that show, in my opinion. And so great at having lots of facial expressions and just being able to show a full range of emotions. And Ella no, I don't think it was Bucarella, was it? It was Ella Bucalleri. Like I say, I'm going to butcher that in my... Bruccoleri. That's it. Ella Bruccoleri. In a Yorkshire accent. I didn't realise she'd been in Call the Midwife. I love Call the Midwife. But I don't know if she was in a later season. I've only watched some of the earlier seasons, of which, interestingly, Emerald Fennell was in Call the Midwife as well. Yeah, the book is supposedly told from Mary's perspective, but the author made Mrs. Bennet really, really mean in a way that can't really be interpreted as anything but cruel. I felt it was very OC. Is that supposed to be OT? I know what you mean. Yeah, the book is definitely written from out of character. Okay, I thought you meant like what's this? OTT, that's what I thought you were saying, over the top, but out of character, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it's definitely from Mary's perspective. I liked the fact that it was from Mary's perspective, in that I feel like we got more of Mary in it. You know, it kind of explained a lot deeper some of her motivations, her thoughts, her feelings in the show. It kind of deepened the characterisation of her. But, yeah, I can see... I don't know, it's funny, isn't it? Because I thought Mrs. Bennet was cruel both in the show and in the book. But I think in the book it comes across as even more cruel, because it's just, you just get more of her being the way that she is in the book versus in the show. I think the main thing, somebody said that they didn't like the fact that the author of the book and the show had both chosen to keep with that cruel Mrs. Bennet, when in Pride and Prejudice she's not seen as out and out cruel to any of her children. She's just very selfish and very self-centered, and is just very focused on marrying them off. And so I think at least one person in my comment section on that video was a little bit miffed that the author of The Other Bennet Sister kind of leaned into that cruelty so much. I enjoyed Mary's interiority. Yes, I did as well. I really liked that. And I felt like it it really helped when, because at first when I was watching the show and I was like, oh, well, I'm going to be totally honest. When I first watched the first half of the show, obviously I hadn't read the book at that point, I thought that John Sparrow, the optometrist, I thought she was going to end up with him. I was like, well, it's obviously going to be him. They're really well matched. He likes her. It made me think of like, you saw me when I was invisible. You know that line from the Princess Diaries? Like, he saw her when she was young and when she was, she hadn't been to London and learnt who she was and this, that and the other. So I thought she was going to marry him. And then that doesn't work out. So then she goes on to Mr. Collins, then that doesn't work out. It goes on to Mr. Hayward. I was a bit like, we're wrecking through these prospects. Whereas what I liked in the book is that it really showed why she was thinking about this so much more, and why there were a number of male suitors and what not suitors but like number of male characters, and how she is learning about who she is and what her prospects are and what a right match means and what a wrong match looks like. And where at the beginning where she's just happy to take Mr. Collins because it means security, as she goes through the book she learns more about herself and what she deserves rather than just what she should have for her own security. And I liked that in the book, and so that's the bit of the interiority that I really enjoyed. It flattened Mrs. Bennet's character in the other Bennet sister. I think Mary's relationship with her mother could have been more nuanced. Her mother clearly ignores her, but it's not with malice, I think. Yeah, I mean, even in like the 2005 Pride and Prejudice, I kind of got the impression that she wasn't kind of ignored. I could almost have imagined it if her mother is a bit confused by Mary, doesn't understand her in the same way that she understands all her other daughters, but she has this fondness for her because actually, historically, yes, it would have been good to have all of your daughters married off because then they would be secure in marriages and stuff. But some mothers were quite happy to have their daughters remain at home with them because it meant that they were cared for. It meant they had somebody with them. And so I think this kind of blanket approach to, she had 5 daughters, so all 5 daughters need to be married off. I know that's part of the humour of Austen. That's what she's trying to show, is the humour of like the marriage market and stuff. But I would have quite liked it if her and her mother would have had this kind of not fully together relationship, but like say more nuanced, a bit more nuanced. I ship Mary and Mr. Collins, and that is the hill I will die on. They were well suited. They were well suited together. They really were. And I think it's almost like she's the one that got away for him, but he's the one that almost got away for her as well. Like, yeah, they could have been so good together. They really could. But then again, it's like, would he have stretched her enough mentally? Like, that's the thing with Mr. Hayward, is that he expands her horizons, doesn't he? He takes her to places. Whereas Mr. Collins, she would have never left Longbourn. Her world would have been very small, and her mind is so large, her mind is so vast that she deserves to see the world and to see different places and to read new things. And I think she would have been leading that kind of expansion in a marriage with Mr. Collins, and Mr. Collins would have kind of kept her world relatively small, whereas, and there'd always been that looming figure of Lady Catherine de Bourgh in the background as well, whereas I think the thing with Mr. Hayward is he expands her, he offers her opportunity to think bigger and go places and see different things in the world, and I think that's why he ultimately is the right person for her. But I thought it was quite fitting because Lizzie would probably not see her as cruel because she wasn't towards her. They grew up in the same house but were treated very differently. Yeah, that's very true. I liked that. There's a scene in the show, isn't there, where Lizzie and Mary are talking on the bed, and I don't think that's in the book. I don't think that scene is in the book because Mary doesn't go up to Pemberley in the book. At this point, she doesn't go up. It's the mother who comes to London when she's ill. She doesn't go up there. But there's a moment where she and Lizzie are sat on the bed together, and Mary says something like, "Your experience was always different to mine. She talks about it, and they have this kind of discussion, and I think that's really interesting. And I liked that scene, even though it was invented for the show because it wasn't in the book. I kind of liked it. I liked the opportunity for Mary and Lizzie to have that moment where they discuss their different experiences in the same household and in the same family. Anyway, it is 25 to. Shall we have another 20-minute session? And then we can do a little bit more writing, a little bit more reading, etc. And then we'll have another chat. We can always go over by 5-10 minutes if people want to talk again afterwards. But let's have another 20-minute session. So we'll start now at just after 20 to 25 to. So it'll be, 10 to 5 to when this next session finishes. There'll be a timer on screen so you'll know when it's going. Yeah. How are we all doing? How did that session go? I've got Stanley on the desk with me, so to be quite frank, I didn't do that much writing. I've been reading through what I've been writing. I've been kind of thinking about what I want to do. Are you passing wind? I swear you're passing wind because there's a smell in this office and it isn't me, my love. Absolutely does not care. Yeah, he came up for a snuggle. You can't say no to that face, can you? Can't say no. No. So we're snuggling. And so I was reading through what I'd written and I was thinking, and I realised actually that I'd left my character's sister in the bed as she'd left that bed. You know, I talked about them sharing a room together. And then I'd mentioned her again since. Oh, hold on. Oh, gosh. I hadn't mentioned her again since. And I was like, I need to remember that the main character has a sister. Like, where is she? What's she been doing? So I was just reviewing that and just thinking about where the best place was to bring the sister in later. So I will do that. I'm not going to do it now because we're finished now. But yeah, that's what I was thinking of. I accomplished nothing because I'm watching my son, but later tonight I plan to write more. There you go, you see. You've got to write when you can, haven't you? When you can fit it in. And also, yeah, do you like writing late at night? I used to really like writing at night, getting really cosy and settling down. And I have to say over the last probably couple of years, 2-3 years, I've can feel myself switching from a night owl to a morning bird. And so I think I probably write in the mornings now if I was going to. 9 o'clock is about my end point now, I think, for writing. I'm editing a chapter of a friend's novel. Oh, that's nice. I like doing things like that. I like reviewing other people's work. I really do. It's a fun job, although there's a lot of pressure as well. Sorry. A lot of pressure to make sure that you get it right and that you do a good job on it. I usually wake up at 3 a.m. to write. I really prefer writing in the morning. Wow. Like, yeah, there's nothing getting me up at 3 o'clock in the morning. What is that? Oh, it's my alarm again. I need to remember to stop that. Hold on. Oh, goodness me. Sorry. Not very professional of me to have to move the camera. I need to remember to stop that for a Tuesday. So it's my alarm, and I'm always a bit worried that my 9 o'clock alarm is going to stop or interfere with the live stream. So apologies for that. Yeah, I've heard of people who wake up in the middle of the night and are like, oh, I've got to get this thought out of my head and onto paper. Nothing is gonna wake me up at 3 o'clock in the morning to write. Yeah, I can't write at night after 9 p.m. My brain is a bit dead. I'm exactly the same. You can tell I'm yawning already. I'm ready for my bed now, to be honest. I'm going to go up to bed. I'm going to read my book for a little bit and then just slowly ease into the evening, and then I'll probably do some more in the morning. This week's a bit different because what I normally do is I work 4 days full-time as a marketing consultant, and then I have 1 day a week where I do my writing, my content creation, that kind of thing. Obviously, it's been the bank holiday, so I wanted to take the bank holiday days off work completely. But what I did was I shifted my 4 freelance days to the other 4 days of the week because I didn't want to lose a day of paid freelance work. So I've kind of lost my creative day for this week, but it's fine. You need a break every now and again, so that's fine. So I'll probably get more writing in either at the weekend or next week instead. My son wakes up around 6 a.m, so I figure I can get a good 1 or 2k words in before he does. Wow. So you'll wake up at 3 and then your son wakes up at 6. You've got 3 hours. When do you sleep? Bless you. Like, when do you get any sleep in? You must be going to bed like now, or very shortly. I say now. You're in America, aren't you? So it's probably not. It's not 9 o'clock where you are now. But you must go to bed early, do you? Around 8 p.m. Yeah, that makes sense. What time will it be in America at the moment? It just depends where you are, doesn't it? America's so big. You could be 6 hours behind. Yeah, you're behind, aren't you, the UK? So you're 6 hours behind, or even more if you're on like the West Coast. 4 p.m. now in Georgia. Ah. don't really know much about Georgia, but it's I like the word, I like the name Georgia. Which that sounds like a really silly comment to make. It sounds like I'm making it up. My brain's not 100% working, but I like the name Georgia. My sister's got a friend called Georgia who is lovely. She's such a fun person, and that's who I think of when you say Georgia. I don't really know much about it. Is it historic? Is it a historic place? But yeah, that's cool. Thank you very much for joining from Georgia. It's kind of funny because the Georgian period of English history is especially interesting mine. Yeah, yeah, that's funny, isn't it? So, was Georgia named after one of the King Georges? I assume it was, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Right. I mean, it's 9 o'clock, so we probably should start winding up. But if anybody wants to ask anything else or chat about anything else before we finish up for the evening, let me know on the chat, and we can have a quick discussion of something before we go. But just a reminder, let me have a quick look online. I am live streaming next week, I'm pretty sure I am. My website, you can go onto my website, which is Charlotte... No, let me put my thing over that way. charlottefurnesswriter.co.uk. So if let me just get rid of that and get rid of the cat cam. There we go. You can see my website. This is my website, and you can go onto Livestream Writing Club, which is one of the options on the menu, and then you'll see my schedule of when I am and when I am not live streaming. So today's the 7th, the 13th I am, and then the 21st, which is a fortnight tonight, I will not be live streaming. So we've got one next week, and then there'll be a break, just 1 week break, and then we'll be back again. I believe it was. So it was named after one of the Georges. Be interested to know which one. Does your book have a hero love interest, and who or what inspired their character? So it does have a love interest. Not a hero so much. I want the main kind of female character to kind of be her own heroine in many ways. But there is definitely a little bit of romance. It's not a romance novel. I wouldn't say it's a historical fiction novel. It looks at the question of female position, and it's a bit of an alternate history book. It's what would history have looked like in that time period if something was different in the time period. I can't tell you too much because I don't want to give it away. I don't want anyone else to go away and write the book before I get a chance to finish it. But it's like what would this time period look like for women if the law had been different to what it was. So if women had have had more freedom, more agency, more legal position, what would history have looked like? And so it asks that question. It imagines what the late 1600s would have looked like if that would have been the reality. So that's the kind of main bit of the story. That's the kind of, this main character, this woman has lived her whole life believing that her position is one thing, and then a change in a law means that her life completely changes overnight, and she then has more opportunities. And so it's about her leaning into those opportunities and trying to understand it whilst being threatened by people who want things to go back to the status quo again. And so that's the kind of main storyline. With a couple of villainous characters. I don't think there's any full villain in it, but there's a couple of villainous male characters who are trying to force the female main character to make changes. But yeah, there is then also a hero love interest who is a ostler, which is the period appropriate name for a stable hand or a stable master, and a blacksmith. So he's trained as both. So the reason I wanted both was because I kind of wanted him to be the head of a stables, and because she lives in an inn, and I wanted him to be able to manage these stables, but also I really wanted to have a sexy blacksmith scene. I wanted to have a scene where he was maybe he didn't have a top on. He's hammering some metal. I just really wanted to have a sexy blacksmith scene, so I made him both an ostler and a blacksmith at the same time. Because I can, because it's my book. So yeah, he's the main character. What inspired him? I think there's quite a lot of different male heroes that I've read about that have inspired him. He's definitely got a bit of Gabriel Oak in him from Far From the Madding Crowd. You know, that kind of the yearning, the quiet, the stoic nature, the kind of consistency that you get with a Gabriel Oak character, where he just loves Bathsheba Everdeen, and he just there's nobody but her, and he's just there, and he just supports her, and that's the kind a bit of him, but not, I haven't like completely copied his character, because I also want him to have a little bit of a past. Haven't quite exactly decided what that past is yet. He is from the north of England, and the inn that she lives at is in central England, and so he's come down from the north. There's something that's led him to leave his life and have to come to the inn. So he's got this kind of like slightly sad, slightly shadowed history. And who else would he be in? I don't know if there's any other actual characters that I think would have inspired him, but I kind of want him to have a little bit of that really kind of sexy attraction that we get from romantasy books. A bit of that. Like, I want people to be driven mad by him, but at the same time I want him to be a really good guy. And he's going to be, he's not going to be a mansplainer. He's just going to be a really good guy that's going to be really good for my main character. And I had thought about putting in like another love interest that she was kind of like her head was turned by, but she's an older main character as well. I want her to be like, she's supposed to be in her late 20s, because she'd given up any thoughts of marriage. Like, if this was not the late 1600s, I'd have her in her mid-30s, but I think mid-30s is too old, really, for this book. So she's going to be very, very late 20s for a mature female main character. I know we don't have enough mature main characters in books like this. It's always a 16-year-old or a 19-year-old or someone like that, and I'm like, I need a older, mature main character, a woman who knows her own mind, who knows what she wants, who she is introverted and she's quiet, but she's got this thread of strength running through her, and she just needed to be given the opportunity to show that strength. So that's my main character in a nutshell. Do I have a Discord server? Do you know I don't? Actually, I do. I did set up a Discord server, but I didn't share it at any point. I don't know. I need to get it up. I tell you what, I will have a look at it. I need to... Oh, it's downloading an update. I will look into my Discord server. Is this going to pop up now with something? Because I'm in a couple of other Discords. Let me just... No. Okay, let me look into that. If you come to the live stream next week, then I will have looked into it and I'll let you know more about it next week. Or if you message me on Instagram, Charlotte Finesse Writer on Instagram, then we can have a chat and I can set up a Discord server if other people would like to join a Discord server. If anyone's watching this on demand later, any of my regular people who haven't been able to make it today, or look, it's downloading updates, any of the regular other regular people, there's a couple of lovely ladies that normally join us every week who I don't think could make it this week. They might be interested in joining a Discord server as well. So if you put comments on this video on demand once it's gone onto the channel, let me know if that's something you're interested in. And yeah, send me a message on Instagram and we can set up a Discord server, because yeah, it'd be lovely to continue having conversations like this on there. So yeah, okay, right, my mum's going, bye lovely live stream. Is that a hint, mum? Is that a hint? You want me to stop talking? No, she's just probably saying goodbye. So yeah, let's leave that there for now, because we are nearly at 9:15. I'm ready for my bed. But it's been lovely to chat with some new people. Thank you very much to those of you who are subscribers to my channel. Thank you for coming along. I'd love to chat with you further on another live stream. Follow me on Instagram, like I say. Come and chat with me in direct messages if you want to there. And we'll set up the Discord server. And I will see you all next Tuesday. at 7 o'clock English time. And yeah, thank you very much for coming again. And if you want to know for my schedule, then go to charlottefinesswriter.co.uk, and the live stream section on my website will give you all my future dates. All right, thanks so much, guys. I will see you all soon. Thanks again for joining. Bye.